everyone. I'll be going over the task list as I study. I create PowerPoints with multiple choice questions and review the answers as well. Join me as I go over the task list. So I'll be starting off with A1 from the BCBA 5th edition. So A1 is goals of behavior analysis, description, prediction, and control. So there are three types of goals for behavioral analysis. Again, it's description, prediction, and control. So first, I just wanted to review what is ABA. So ABA is a scientific approach for discovering environmental variables that reliably influence socially significant behaviors and for developing a technology of behavior change that takes practical advantage of those discoveries. All right, so we are going to start off with A1. With A1, we have description. So a description is a collection of facts, observed events that is quantified, classified, and examined for possible relation with other known facts. So it can suggest possible hypotheses of questions for additional research. A quick snippet of how to remember description is I know what the behavior looks and sounds like. So that's in green in the bottom. That's just a quick sentence to help you memorize what is description and how it's different from prediction and control. And then an example for a multiple choice question that may look similar to something we'll see on the BCBA exam is when a behavior analyst records the frequency and duration of a student's hand raising during class without attempting to change it, which goal of behavior analysis are they primarily adjusting? So obviously this is description because it's on the description slide, but when we look at the question, we'll see that they're recording frequency and duration. So a type of recording measurement is used to see the amount of time hand raising occurs. So when we have something that is quantified, again, by saying frequency and duration, that is a description without using any type of interventions or anything like that. We're just seeing it. So seeing how the behavior looks like, seeing what the behavior looks like, what it sounds like, etc. Here we're seeing what it looks like. So we're looking at what does hand raising look like. We're looking at the frequency and we're looking at the duration for that hand raising. Then we have prediction. So prediction is the likelihood that one event will occur based on the presence of another event. So there's a correlation between the variables. We can predict the probability that one event occurs based on the presence of that other event. A prediction enables us to prepare, and then we can use correlation studies, can be used to predict. And then so a quick snippet, again, a quick sentence that will help us remember what prediction is I can assume the behavior will occur based on repeated patterns from the observation. So here's a quick example of what we'll see on the BCBA exam. So a behavior analyst has observed that every time a student or teacher gives a math assignment, the student engages in off-task behavior. Based on the consistent pattern, the behavior analyst anticipates that the student will likely engage in off-task behaviors the next time a math assignment is given. This anticipation is the example of which goal. The goal here, again, is prediction. So, and it's prediction because a couple of things. So we are observing a behavior. That behavior occurs consistently. So we're looking at the pattern. And then now we can predict based off of that pattern that it will happen again in the future. So this is prediction. And then we have control. So control refers to demonstrating that a specific intervention or the manipulation of variables consistently produces a change in behavior. So establishing a functional relation between the manipulated variable, which is the independent variable, can be referred to as the IV, and the dependent variable, which is the behavior. When we arrange conditions in ways specified by the laws of system, we control the cause of an event to occur of assumed characteristics. And here in this case, the IV is manipulated. So any intervention, that's the manipulated aspect of it. So a quick snippet of how we can remember control is any causes of change in behavior. So here's an example of what it would look like as a multiple choice question on the BCBA exam. Is a behavior analyst implements a token reinforcement system in which a student earns a token for every 10 minutes of on-task behavior. After introducing the system, the student's on-task behavior increases significantly. The behavior analyst concludes that the token system is responsible for this increase in behavior. This conclusion is an example of which goal of behavior analysis. And in this case, it is the control is the goal. And how we know that is that first, the independent variable in this case is that token reinforcement system. It was introduced. So it wasn't there before. We introduced it to see if it changes the behavior of it. So now the behavior in this case is obviously is the on-task behavior. So when we introduce the system, the token reinforcement system, we're controlling that environment. We're controlling the behavior that we want to see. We want to increase the on-task behavior. So in this case, it is control. So now I created an A1 summary table just to help with studying. And so we have the Cooper definition and then an example. So we have description, prediction, control. Again, these are goals of behavior analysis, A1. So we can divide it as DPC. That's how we can remember the acronym DPC. So Cooper explanation for description involves systematically observing and describing behavior in a way that is clear and objective. And then an example is noticing that a child engages in a hand clapping when given a difficult task. So like 10 times when completing math homework. And then prediction involves understanding the relationship between different events to predict behavior, identifying when a behavior is likely to occur based on patterns. Again, we always want to look at patterns because the patterns tells us what we can predict in the future, what's going to happen in the future. Predicting a child will throw a tantrum when told to clean up based on past observations. So obviously, like a parent, mother, dad, or whoever has told the child to clean up, and every time they tell the child to clean up, the child throws a tantrum. And then now we can predict the next time the child is told to clean up, bam, a tantrum occurs. We can predict that a tantrum is going to occur. And then control refers to the ability to reliably influence behavior change through environmental manipulation, change in behavior in a reliable way through intervention. So using a reinforcement system to increase homework completion and decrease off-task behavior. So here we're influencing behaviors by adding something. So here we're going to add a reinforcement system to influence the behavior of homework completion, anything that influences. So that's the control. Now, I also created some multiple choice questions. And then on the next slide, we have the answers, and we can go over the answers that were a little bit tricky. I'm not going to go over all the 10 answers, but we can go over some of these answers that were a little bit tricky. So you can pause the video to quiz yourself on A1. Now, here are the answers. And then one answer that I was debating on when I took this myself, the multiple choice, is number 5. So let's review number 5. All right, number 5 is which goal behavior analysis is demonstrated when a behavior analyst manipulates an environment and observes changes in behavior. Now, the reason why I was a little hesitant about this question and about the answer is because I thought it may be between D and C, so control and experimentation. Now, the reason why the answer is not experimentation and it is C, control, is because experimentation is not a goal. There are 3 goals, which are description, prediction, and control. Experimentation is not a goal behavior analysis. Therefore, the answer is not experimentation and it is control. So you have to think about that. So A1 is just the goal behavior analysis, description, prediction, and control. And so we know that the exam may try to trick us by adding something like experimentation, where it's like kind of similar. You're manipulating something, but control is the goal, and that's why the answer is C and not D. And then the other ones are pretty straightforward. If you want me to explain any, just let me know in the comments below. Thank you. Watch out for A2 video.